I know, you are trying so hard to stop your sugar cravings because it seems like the cookie, the ice cream calling you at midnight or maybe in the middle of your work. And now I'm gonna tell you the 5 simple hacks to stop your sugar cravings. Hi everyone, welcome back to our healthy channel Triple H, How to Be Happy and Healthy. With me, Dr. Hans, working at Functional Medicine and your holistic doctor, and I'm gonna tell you now how to stop your sugar craving with 5 simple hacks. So I kind of listen many of my patients ask me about how to stop the sugar cravings because I just feel that I don't have any willpower. I have like a lack of willpower, and many people think that it's just about like a willpower or maybe your commitment, your consistency about diet, but you don't know how to stop it even if you know that sugar is not good for you. If you are thinking about maybe I should stop it as soon as possible, and you don't know about the principle or the fundamental of what really happens in your body. This is why many people are struggling so hard to stop the sugar cravings. And one thing that you need to know, it's not all about willpower. I'm not saying that it doesn't have any correlation, but if you are trying to stop the sugar cravings, you should know that this is not only the willpower, or maybe I'm saying it's just the least things that you need to pay attention, but the first thing that you need to pay attention is about what happened in your body, because any kind of cravings especially sugar, it's only the symptoms, because it's all about the consequences that what happened in your body, the biochemistry or maybe the physiology in your body. That is what makes your body craving of sugar. So the first thing that you need to understand is about to differentiate between hungry or cravings, because many people thinks that these are the same, but actually these are different. So hungry is physiological and cravings are psychological. So physiological and psychological, these are two different things, which means if you're hungry, it means you have a physical need. Your body needs nutrients, not only food, not only calories, but also nutrients. Like what I always say, there are macronutrients, there are micronutrients, phytonutrients, and etc. And if you are hungry, actually your body build up the gradual response. So a little by a little, the more time, the longer you feel it, the more you feel hungry. And if you feel cravings, actually, it's a sudden and intense. Out of nowhere, you feel I just want to eat ice cream right now, and I have to get it as soon as possible. That's the difference between hungry and cravings. And again, if you are hungry, actually you can eat anything. You don't have any specific food that you want to eat. You just want to fulfill what you need. It's a general desire for food. If you differentiate with cravings, because it's psychological, it's not only your body need it, but your brain working give you the hedonic need. That's what we call a hedon, because it's just a emotion despite of what you need, anything that you need. And it has a specific food that really what you want, especially a sugary, savory dessert, because I rarely heard that people cravings for vegetables or cravings for a grilled salmon or maybe a roasted almond and stuff, because because it's a hedonic needs. So many people tend to choose a sugary, savory dessert, popcorn, pizza, and etc. So you need to understand first about these are different. So if you are hungry, it's totally different when you are craving for something. If you're talking about sugar, especially the most people think about sugar, it's always associated with a sweet taste. So is it only sweet taste that called as sugar? Which means actually there are many types of sugar, and here I will let you know about the some types of sugar that are common. The first one is sucrose. So sucrose is what we oftenly say it as a white sugar, or maybe a brown sugar, or maybe a candy. So all of these are sucrose made. How about another type of sugar? Maybe you often heard about fructose as well. So fructose is I give you the example here, like a corn syrup, like a fruits, it has most of fruit contain high fructose, or even honey. The thing that you always say that it's healthy. Well, I'm not saying that it's not, but you have to know that it also contains sugar, which is fructose. Then also lactose, which is a milk, dairy, cheese, yogurt, any kind of yogurt. It still contains lactose, even it's not much, or maybe there are some yogurt that a high lactose, or maybe a lower lactose, but it still contains the natural sugar in dairy. Or maybe starch, because many people don't think that they eat sugar when they eat a potato chips, a rice, corn, noodle, oats. Here, I always say, I'm not trying to classify which one is healthy sugar, which one is unhealthy sugar, but all the things that I mentioned here, it still contains sugar, even it's not much. Because it's starch, it doesn't mean that it's not sugar in our body. And also artificial, like a sweetener, any kind of sweetener, yeah, just like a sucralose, as a sulfam, whatever, maltose. Then maltodextrin, dextrose, it's also sugar. So why I'm saying this, why I'm explaining all of this, because many people just think that sugar is only the thing that tastes sweet. But actually, not all sugar tastes sweet. Even it's not taste sweet, it doesn't taste sweet. It doesn't mean that it's not sugar. I'll bring you some of the studies that I put it here. So the first one is the impact of sugar consumption on stress-driven, emotional, and addictive behaviors. So it's the studies that tells about what is the correlation between the sugar consumption and the emotional and the addictive behaviors, and I will tell you about why it can happen. And the second study is the impact of sugar on the body, brain, and behavior. So if you think that sugar just impact in our body, it will cause many kind of a metabolic syndrome, diseases and stuff. Actually, it also affect your brain and behavior. So these two studies telling you about the effect of sugar is not only about the physiological but also psychological, the craving that I'm telling you. If you're talking about the psychological, we go to the one organ that's really important that control our psychological, which means I'm telling you about our brain. Our brain has two pathways that related to sugar. The first one is dopamine, and the second one is serotonin. Well, these are the two neurotransmitters that are really important, and it also related with our gut microbiome and stuff. There are many studies that ongoing about it, but now I just want you to focus on these two pathways, which is the first one is dopamine, the second one is serotonin. The dopamine is responsible to the reward, pleasure, euphoria, motor function, compulsion, and perseveration. And the serotonin pathways is responsible, has function in our mood, memory, processing, and sleep, and cognition. So these two pathways has really close relationship with our sugar. So how dopamine works, especially dopamine, because it's really related to our what I just mentioned. It's released in the response to pleasurable experience. So especially when we are talking about food, we always feel that palatable, the food that we sense that it's so enjoy and pleasurable, it will trigger your dopamine when you eat it, after you eat it, especially. And it is associated with emotional response when you enjoy something, the food, it depends on the people, because each people have a different preference, but most of them can feel enjoy a pleasure when you eat a sugary food. It's just a normal physiology for many people. So if you think that the dopamine give you pleasure per se, no, it's not. So actually dopamine makes us want the reward. So it's kind of cycle. When you eat it, your dopamine is released, and when it's released, you want the reward more. If you're thinking about it's just normal, so it's not that normal, because long term dopamine stimulation, if you keep in a cycle, the long term dopamine stimulation, it will result the reduction of your receptor, your dopamine receptor, which I call the D2 receptors in your brain. It will down regulate, and if you want the same effect, the same pleasure effect, you need to eat more. So here is what happened in your body. If you eat sugar and you will keep the cycling in your body, you will experience the blood sugar roller coaster. So if you think that we just need a sugar when we just feel lethargic, when we feel tired, and you want to eat more, actually this is what will happen in your body, the roller coaster of blood sugar. So here is the green one. This is the ideal balanced blood sugar that your body supposed to be needs. So it's around 80 to 100 milligram per deciliter. But if you every time you eat, you will spike your blood sugar, whatever you eat. Then after your blood sugar spike, it will goes down, because what comes up must goes down. And what makes it suppress your blood sugar, it's called insulin. So the insulin shuttles from blood sugar that will make the crash of your blood sugar. And when it crashes, you will feel tired, you will feel crappy, you will feel you need to get some cookie, get some ice cream and stuff. And when you eat it, your blood sugar will goes up again, and when it goes up, it will goes down again, and over, and so on, and so on, and so on. So the blood sugar roller coaster, this is the thing that makes you feel craving, especially the sugar craving, whatever the sugar that you love. Just like what I mentioned before, because sugar is has many types, and it will cause a mood swing. It will makes you got the energy crashes, the fast you got your energy, and the fast you lose your energy as well. And it will cause many people to got a depression, because you just feel you feel the cycle again and again and again, and you don't know how to stop it. So here is the sum up what will happen to your body when you consume a sugar. You don't know how to stop it, you just following what you want, what your brains tell you. So the sugar cycle, when you eat sugar and your body likes it, maybe for 5 to 10 minutes, because it has addictive properties. So your blood sugar will spike and your dopamine will release in your brain. And after your dopamine is released, your insulin is secreted to decrease the blood sugar. Then the high insulin levels that you made by your eating habit, like 5 or maybe 6 times a day, will cause the fat storage, and your body craves the loss of sugar. After that, the low blood sugar cause your appetite increases, and you will have that craving, and the process is repeated again and again and again. And because you make the high insulin more and more, you will store more fat in your body. And so no wonder why many people that experience that sugar craving, they also tend to have obesity. They have overweight, even if not many people, but you will still feel the more problems in your body. Now, what is the solution? And here I will share you about the 5 simple hacks to stop the sugar cravings, because it's not because you have a lack of willpower, because you don't know how to stop it. There are 5 simple hacks to stop your sugar cravings. The first one is cover with natural fiber and or protein. The second one is eat your sugar at the end of your meal, not on empty stomach. The third one, add vinegar prior your sugary food. The fourth, fulfill your protein intake, especially the natural one. And the last but not least is about fasting. I'll break it down one by one and I'll give you the example. The first one is cover with natural fiber and or protein. What I mean the natural, because nowadays there are many artificial or synthetic fiber, so you need to know about the differentiate about the artificial and the natural. What I mean by artificial is about a polydextrose, cellulose gum, corn fiber, acacia fiber, and etc. All of these are artificial and your body doesn't want it. It's totally different with natural fiber such as vegetables, fruit, and inulin. So these are obviously much better than the synthetic one. The second one is protein. So a fiber and protein, it will slow down your blood sugar spike if you eat it. For example, if you eat sandwiches, it's much better than you eat toast or maybe toast and jam. Even though these two are the same with bread, but if you eat sandwiches, you eat with the protein a chicken, tuna, or whatever the protein that you choose, and you eat with fiber romaine, tomato, and stuff, are much better than you eat toast. The second one is what I said, eat at the end of your meal. So what's the difference? Why don't you eat it at first? Because if you eat it in an empty stomach, it will cause more cravings. It will cause you're hardly to stop your cravings. But if you eat at the end of your meal, maybe you will think, what's the difference? Wouldn't it cause my spike my insulin more, or maybe my blood sugar more? It wouldn't happen, because what will happen in your body? You have a counter regulatory hormone such as a glucagon, epinephrine, cortisol, and etc. And your counter-regulatory hormone actually it works to manage the threshold of your blood sugar. So it will not go over the threshold, because you have it there to suppress, to manage your insulin. So if you want to eat a chocolate, dessert, ice cream, which I don't suggest it, but if it's the things that you eat in a transition, you want to stop to eat it, but you still couldn't do it now, yes, you still can eat it, but please eat at the end of your meal. The third tips is about the add vinegar. what vinegar, especially actually it's like not any specific vinegar, even though many people like talking about the apple cider vinegar, which is I recommend that as well, because like apple cider vinegar, especially the one that with the mother, like it has many benefits to your body. Not only your blood sugar, it has many benefits. Maybe I will talk in another video. But any kind of vinegar, actually it will reduce your blood sugar spike about 30%. So if you consume like here, like a ACV, apple cider vinegar, like mixed with water, you eat it like before you eat your main meal. Here is like a pasta carbonara. Like it will reduce your blood sugar spike about like a 30%, which means it will reduce your insulin spike as well after you eat a meal. The fourth tips is about like to fulfill your protein intake. So there is a protein leverage hypothesis which I share here about the study. So the conclusion of the study, if your diet and your macronutrients is about like you eat more protein at the first of your day, like you fulfill it first, or maybe like the most percentage, like 80 to 90% percentage of your protein intake, each person are different, you will feel more satiety, you will feel more satisfying, and you are like tend to like eat less sugar in the end like of the day. And the last things is about fasting. So what fasting? There are many fasting, but I'm talking about the water fasting, or maybe the time restricted feeding, or maybe some people call it intermittent fasting. So there are many studies. I'll bring you one of from MDPI. So the studies like shows you if you do fasting, like especially in the early of the day, and like you start your meal like noon from noon to evening, like you give like a space before you sleep after your last meal, it will really have the good impact, the positive impact of your blood glucose, your mean glucose, your HbA1c, and especially for all your metabolic health. So these are the take-home message for this video. The first thing that you need to remember that not all sugars are sweet. So if you think that sugars is only the sweet things, no, it's not. The second thing, the natural sugar is still sugar. You have to pay attention that whatever, if it's natural, like a honey, fruit that I mentioned before, it will spike your blood glucose still, like less or more. The third thing that you need to remember, that timing is really important. So if you eat like especially your sugary food, like before, in between, or after your meal, it will have like different impacts. The fourth thing, choose the right food before counting calories, because many people still like really focus on the calories counting. I'm not saying that it's not important. Yes, it's important, but before that, please choose the right food first, because your calories doesn't determine the quality of your food and what will your body do to your food. And last but not least, despite in your any kind of sugar craving, your sugar craving is stoppable. So if you think like it's all about like just the thing that you need to accept, no, you can stop your sugar craving if you follow what I'm saying, what I am explaining to you in this video. So I hope it can help you and you will get like your sugar craving stop soon. I'm Dr. Hans. Stay fit and stay healthy.